Hey, I am John Barker and I'm here to record. Hey everybody, I am John Barker. Hey everybody, I am John Barker here from Here to Record, and welcome to another episode of Here to Record's Show and Tell. I'm John from Here to Record and welcome to this new series called Project Tiny Studio. And in this episode of Here to Record Show and Tell, we're going to take a look at the A10 Mini Pro. In this episode, we are on the floor and I've got all my equipment lying out. We're going to take a look at the A10 streaming bridge. So here's a quick walkthrough of the event. You can see that the AverMedia is now pulsing red. I was streaming for a total of 8.5 hours today. Here we go. This is everything on the table. So I want to show you pretty much everything we used. Switch it on and hopefully, yes, there we go. You should see it. I'm able to show it here and slide it out of the way from this production. Take a look around the device. You can see all the inputs and outputs are on the back as expected. Hopefully you learned something from that, and there'll be plenty more videos coming in the future. So please subscribe, and thanks for watching again. Bye-bye. Hello, hello. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you enjoyed that little intro video today. I just threw that together this weekend just to show something to kick things off, but hopefully you can hear and see me okay. If not, you'll be sure to let me know. Probably coming in a little low, but otherwise I will hear from you over time how things sound and how things look and all that good stuff. So let's get started with the live show. Thank you for joining for this little 5-year look back. I noticed about 2 weeks ago on my calendar that I created my channel on the 3rd of April. Now I know this is not the 3rd of April anymore. That time has passed, but that's because I couldn't live stream last week. I was on vacation and a few other things popped up, but I thought either way I could just do it this week instead and things would work just as well. So it's been 5 years since I've been uploading videos on YouTube and all that good stuff, and it's been a fun 5 years, I will say that so far. I set myself a challenge, not in the first year but maybe the second year, to upload a video every single week, which was something that was very difficult to keep up. And then now, a few years later, I'm trying to push myself towards that sort of thing again. So we'll see how that goes. But first of all, I see lots of people already popping in, which is excellent. Let me see in the chat here who we got and what they're coming in, and saying yes. It's a little peekaboo. I was playing with the timer a little bit before things started there, but otherwise it all worked just as I expected it to. Yeah, a little clip there at the start included the AverMedia original recorder that I had, and it worked okay, but I wouldn't say great, but it worked okay. So there's a little sneak peek of that. Hello from Belgium. Hello. Frank says, amazing to the little video. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I had some fun making that and looking back on, I mean, how much I've lost hair over the years, never mind anything else. That's been the main sort of learning from that exercise and that video I made. So that was fun to see. Hello from France. Excellent. Hello. Welcome from Germany and from Holland and all sorts of bits and pieces. Yes, Jonas, thank you. Maybe up 5 dB. Hopefully I turned it up 5-ish dB, but I think we'll be okay for now, hopefully. Yeah, the tiny house looks extremely nice with the sun coming in. It does. This is, I'm sort of battling at certain times of the day, but this is the time of the day where it's not really coming in at any windows into my eyes, and I can just see it in the background there. So this is peak tiny house sun time for sure. Hello from lots of other places, Denmark, Switzerland, and all sorts of places. Thanks, congrats on 5 years. It's crazy when I look back and think I've been making videos for 5 years. In fact, I suppose before I get into looking back, I will do what I always like to do on these streams, which is look at the current setup. I have some small little changes from my previous last week's setup, so I thought I would show this off now. Let me see, camera number 2, there we go. So I have the good old C-Tech monitor that I'm really enjoying using these days, and it's inside of a funky looking box. Now you might say, what is that, John? What kind of carpentry is that? Well, that is my my weekend project, a sort of V1 of what I expect my case to be someday. So this is a sort of, I have some plywood in the garage from a few projects around the house here, and what I thought I would do is just create something to house all of this stuff. Now, the very keen-eyed would notice that this is not even bolted down or anything. It's basically, I literally put this stuff in there yesterday, so it's very much early days. So what I have is something that fits in the cupboard behind me. That was something I really wanted to achieve, was in the cupboard back there. I keep all of my equipment, and what I wanted to do was grab it, put it on the table, and then whenever I'm done tonight, I will grab it and put it back into the cupboard. So that is the look at the sort of rough plywood box that I've thrown together, which is quite nice. And you'll see there's a little shelf on top with the laptop on it there, and the Zoom recorder, which is capturing audio. And then if I just sneak this monitor back a little without breaking anything, you'll see the A10 Mini Extreme is just hidden in the back there, which is quite fun. My reason for doing that, I'm just fixing something in the background here, but my reason for doing that is because actually I don't really want full, I don't need full control of the A10 Mini at all times. The reason it should be here is because I want to have access to all the inputs, which are of course at the back there, and very easy to get to because I have made the back quite open. So really what I want is just the inputs. Now I could set up some sort of patch panel, which I probably will in the future, but for now, that's how it looks. And then if I showed you, let me see if I can show you this, a little sneak peek behind here. Yeah, it's a mess in there for sure. What I have actually is a couple of Raspberry Pis running in there, and a network switch as well. And out on the front here, I have the Stream Deck, which is controlling the A10 and all sorts of other gear that's attached. But the most important part is that this is actually not connected to my computer. It's connected to the Raspberry Pi. So I don't actually need this computer to be here for any reason other than to see some chat messages and stuff. But this is connected to the Pi. And I also have a secondary Pi, which is running Playout B, which was what I played that opening video with. So again, I did notice a little bit of tearing apart in some of the fast parts, but I'll check with Jonas and see if I can tidy that up a little bit in the future. But like I said, I threw that video together sort of last minute, and then I've only actually started using the Playout B thing this weekend as well, so it's all kind of new. What else? Oh yeah, one last thing, and you'll have to trust me, but today, as you can see, I'm usually streaming around 2 megasecond, but today it's up at 4 to 6, so we'll see how that goes. I've explained many a time on here on the channel the woes of living in the countryside and the 4G-ness that I am living with. So hopefully, and so far so good, it seems like the stream health hasn't complained at all yet, but that's not to say a particularly tricky storm might roll in and ruin that for me. But right now, we're running between 4 and 6, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks, and you can let me know if it works and sounds good to you, which I assume you can all hear me just fine and see me just fine, and maybe even see me in better detail than usual. Plenty more people popping in saying hello from all sorts of places. Are you looking for a flight case for the Extreme? Any that stand out? No, actually I'm not really looking for a flight case at all. Maybe you said that before I showed you this, but this is kind of the DIY flight case that I'm building, but I don't need to take it anywhere, so I don't need to be picky about how things sit together. This is the first time I've created something like this for an ATEM or a device where I wasn't so picky about it being rugged to go on flights or car trips. It's basically just lift it from here, put it in the cupboard, lift it from there, bring it back out. So there's lots of choices I could make in here that allow me to do that. And there are rack rails on the back with a power strip from a rack rail. The width of the case itself is the rack width, 19 inch. So any rack mounted things will work and sit on the back there. So it's kind of standard, but my own version of a little standard case. So it's working really well. Good lighting and feels down to earth. I like that you're like your setting today. Yeah, exactly. This is as the summer rolls in, or well, the spring rolls in for us here in Sweden, the light is lasting longer and it's all looking nice. So I'm happy with this time of day. We'll see if it keeps this way. And then whenever winter rolls around again, we'll go back to the old ways. So I thought it would be fun to just look back at some of the videos that I've posted before. Now what I am going to do is just lower the audio. In fact, I'll lose the audio completely because you don't really need to hear what I'm saying in these videos. You can always just go watch them again if you really want to. But so I picked out a few videos that I particularly either liked or maybe didn't like that much over the years. And I thought I would just go through a few of them right now, show you a part of them. You're not going to watch all the videos again, don't worry. And just talk about what some of the ideas were behind them and things like that. And then that'll be the show until about 7:30, which is 20 minutes away. And then we'll go into the post show and I can answer any sort of questions you might have. I am going to crack open a beer at that time too. So have your beer at the ready if you want to, you know, drink along or whatever. So the first video I chose for this little look back, and if I just bring up my my super source here, I can show that. The first one was kind of the first main video that I posted on the channel here, which was a look at the...
Hey everybody, I am John Barker and welcome.
You could definitely hear that. Let me take off that audio again. I thought I did that already, but I guess I pressed the wrong one. Yeah, I did. So let me see where I find that again. There we go. This was one of the very first videos I posted on the channel, like an unboxing of the Intensity Shuttle. Putting on my headphones here so you can definitely hear. Yeah, you definitely can't hear that, which is for the best. You don't need to hear this badly white balanced weird video that I made. So this was like the first video, but that's not the one I actually wanted to show. It was this one. This was me in one of the first events that I took a video of. I was in Budapest and I was shooting a conference there. One of the first technical conferences I shot really and live streamed. And it was pretty early days. I shot all this on my phone and it's sort of a look at the gear that I brought with me. And the reason I wanted to show this one is how much the gear has actually changed since then. So what you can see here is I'm running Wirecast on my MacBook Pro at the time, and I have a couple of little tiny cameras with me, the GoPro and another one. And I think this is one of the things that I looked back and was really surprised to see, like how much gear has changed for me over the years. That was a pretty interesting setup then. It worked well in many occasions, but in many occasions it had its moments for sure. I remember one specific moment where I would have all the Ultra Studio, all sorts of stuff connected to this computer, and I hadn't fully charged my internal laptop battery before the stream started, but then I attached the charger and I still watched the percentage go down as the stream was going on. Luckily this was only like a 60-minute meetup or something, so I had more than enough battery, but it was a pretty scary time to yeah, it was pretty not enjoyable, that's for sure. Oh, whoops, what did I do there? There we go. So that's one of the first videos I was going to show on this fine day, which was one of the first videos. The next video I wanted to show was my possibly the most popular video on this channel, but not necessarily the one that I'm most happy with for sure. This is my single camera live streaming setup, whatever you want to call it. It is closing in on the 500,000 view mark. Well, it's a little bit away, but it's getting there. And again, it's kind of like an early days video where I was still learning a lot of this stuff, and my single camera setup was a mini recorder and a GoPro, as you can see there. But what was interesting about that is now when people watch that video, they have a lot to say about it. Why don't you use this? Why don't you use that? And my answer to that is, well, you know, a lot has changed since then, and I don't really have a good answer for you. It's quite interesting. It's almost like, I know Aaron's here in the chat and a few other creators on YouTube as well. It's like some of your old videos, you kind of just want to silently make them quiet now because the content in them is just so out of date, but people look at them and they don't look at what date it was uploaded, and they just assume this is still the most current recommendation. So the most popular video on the channel, but maybe not my most favorite video on the channel. But the final video I wanted to show and have a little chat about today was this one. you can't hear what I'm saying there, but I'm saying welcome, and this is the original A10 mini video. The reason I kind of wanted to round off with this one is it seems so small now that I see it on this screen here compared to the Extreme that's sitting behind it in my eye line. But what I really liked about this video is I got my hands on an early version of this A10 mini just to give it a try and make a video about it. And now you can't go back anymore this far on YouTube, but if you were to go far enough back in the search, you would see that this was the first English speaking video about the A10 mini series. So I had gotten it delivered, and I had shot the A roll and the B roll and edited and released the video all within the same day, or I think it was within the same day. So it was a fun experience, and it's the kind of thing I wanted to do since then. And with the A10 mini Extreme, I managed to do the same thing. Got it delivered, shot, edited, uploaded the first video within a day. Maybe that was a little bit longer, but it's something that I really want to do more and more, which is that fast turnaround of certain devices, as long as I have them in my hands and I can make videos about them. Which brings me to something that I'm very excited about to chat about a little bit. I'm just going to bring my chat back up again just to see if everything's still working well. It sure is. So exciting times are ahead. It turns out that in 1 month's time, I'll do a live stream in 4 weeks' time, and that stream will be happening on the first day of my new career, and that career would be me being fully self-employed freelancer and doing this stuff right here, what you're watching, full time, all the time, constantly. So with that, we're going to have a lot of fun, I'm sure, along the way. Up until now, for the last few years, I've been working in a company full time, and I've enjoyed it for sure many of the times. I've done a lot of fun gigs that I never would do, but I really feel the time now is to sort of jump ship and try to do my own thing. I have about 5 different softwares running all at the same time right now. So the thing I want to do most right now in my life is to freelance, consult, and also create videos and develop software for all sorts of use cases and productions. So I'm sure you've seen on the Discord, if you're part of that already, that we have things like graphics, of course, and the super source layouts. We have the logger, which is kind of quietly pushed aside, but also we have the H2R Control, which is something that's developing and coming along nicely. So I'm pretty excited. For 4 weeks' time, I will be just doing this kind of stuff all the time. I can get devices for review, and I can make videos nice and fast. I can make update videos, the ones that I always said, I'm going to make an update video on that someday. But, you know, time just disappears into nowhere. And now it's finally time to give it a go and try it out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I think, who knows, with the amount of support people have been giving over the last year or even the last few months is just blowing me away. And I think there's no better time to do this kind of thing. So I'm going to give it a shot. In fact, if I have this image up here, this is sort of a snapshot of the subscriber count over the last 5 years. You can see things are a steady increase here all the way up to, you know, about a few weeks / months ago, whenever things just really took off with the A10 mini Extreme stuff and all that good stuff. So you never know what kind of stuff might happen. When I have the time to do all of this stuff all the time, I'm really excited to do lots of different things. This is sort of a rambling discussion here that I'm just throwing at you. So some of the things that I have sort of in the pipeline is more collaborations with folks like Photo Joseph and Aaron. I know we're trying desperately to get the next date for our 3 friends and a ... device lined up. And I'm talking with a few other people who I can work together with and all that good stuff. And other things that I'll put together, like certain content for members only, patrons only. I'll be able to do other things like free and paid versions of apps where I can actually support them because I have the time to do it. And I just saw someone pop up to say, which is quite funny. And a super chat just came in as well, which is really excellent. Thank you so much. I don't have it in my H2R graphics just yet, but when it comes in here, I'll show it up. Thank you so much. Excited for you. Congrats. Let's start the super chats for all the help creators provide. Yeah, well, you know, for the next month, I'll be a paid employee, but after that, any super chat that pops in will be very much appreciated, that's for sure. So thank you for that super chat, really kind of you. Which actually, there's a few people popping in to say you might finally get here to record merchandise, and this could be a perfect time to maybe sneak in. I don't know, I've never pressed this button before, so let's see what happens if I press this button, because I've been working kind of slowly and trying to get some merchandise rolling on the channel, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. But if I pin this, you might see it pop up, or it won't work. This is why I should have tested this before I went live. Oh, it says it's loading. Well, we'll see. But anyway, I've been working on sort of a H2R merchandise store, which I guess I'll eventually post at some point somewhere. So it didn't work, the button. That is a real shame, isn't it? But you know, I think I can get it up here in the background while I chit chat anyway. Because I've always wanted to do some sort of merchandise. I thought it would be pretty fun to get some I'm here to record bits and pieces. So maybe this is the perfect time to do exactly that. I will get a link to it here somewhere along the way. But lots of nice comments coming in, which is great. Aaron says, I'm so close to catching up on the subscriber count, and now you're going to take off. I think you will. I think you're going to overtake me for sure. You came up super fast there in the last year, and there's no stopping you. So I will be more than happy if someone who works as hard as you overtakes me in this stuff. There's no bad feelings there in any way, that's for sure. You know what? I'll share the store stuff later, because I'm just clicking around here and it's distracting me. Anyway, I'll work on that for next time. Why not? That'll be fun. So let me see. If there was more bits and pieces coming in. Yeah, shirts. That must have been a reply. Yeah, let's see what happens if I press this button. Famous last words. Yeah, luckily it didn't. Luckily it didn't shut down my whole live stream or something like that. But I'm happy to see that it's all streaming just fine. But my merchandise never got pinned. Oh well, doesn't matter. Yeah, shirts are something I want to throw out there. I have. This is why it's annoying that this button doesn't work, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh wait, did it work? I think I just pinned something. We'll see what comes up. And congrats from Christian. Thank you so much, Christian, for the... Oh, I pressed it twice. For the super chat. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'm excited. Excited. So I will work for a month now, and then after that, I'll kind of... We'll see. We'll see how well I can fill my fill my time. Let me know if you could see the merchandise that I just pinned to the thing there. That was just a jacket. Yeah, now you see it. Something popped up. Excellent. I have no idea if that will click on anything or work. And if it doesn't really matter. We can always fix that later. But there's lots of bits and pieces that I want to merchandise and get some fun stuff out there, which will be excellent. I saw some questions pop in about this kind of stuff. It is pinned to the top. Excellent. Yeah, it was just saying loading here, but I can see it pop up there now, which is excellent. I'm shocked that there was no ukulele cameo this week. Yeah, I always manage to, well, I don't always, but the ukulele pops its head in every once in a while. Unluckily, it did not pop its head in this time. You know, I think actually, while some more questions might pop in, I thought it'd be cool to, I'm just trying to find where my mouse is. I'm controlling two computers with the same mouse here, so it's been a interesting challenge to make sure you're doing the right one. Anyway, I'm going to show you my PC now, because this is one of the many things that I wanted to do whenever I have much more time to do it. So I gave a little demo of H2R Control. I don't know what I called it last time, but this is the sort of the next iteration of it. And you'll see that things look different than usual. Actually, let me just cut away from that for a second and chit chat with you while I pull up some extra stuff. Because, oh, wrong computer. Because one of the things that I realized whenever I was on vacation a while back, it was good, thanks for asking. I went to Öland here in Sweden, which is an island off to the east coast. And me and my girlfriend, we walked for 40 kilometers, and then we cycled for another 40 kilometers. And needless to say, we felt the pain. So that was one of the many reasons not to live stream last week. But yeah, so one of the things that I'm working hard on here. Let me just close out those things there, and close that, and show you. So one of the many issues with building your own applications is there's never enough time to go back to the drawing board and come up with how all the applications should actually work. Instead, you just throw a bunch of ideas at things, and you just keep throwing ideas, and then you never really get it. You never really get anywhere. So one of the things I've worked on really hard in the last few weeks is this sort of branding for here to record apps, here to record anything that pops up. That is what this is all about. So I've come up with some branding and some fonts that I want to use, some colors and all that stuff. This is just a little sneak peek at that. So back to the app itself, which I've, instead of creating another new app by itself, completely different from every other app that I've made, I made this boilerplate, and this app will be the first one in the boilerplate. And this is the kind of launcher, the home screen, whatever you want to call it. So when you download H2R Control, it'll show this. And then after that, you can connect to a switcher. So I've just connected to my A10 Mini Extreme here on the local network. I know this is a demo that I kind of showed before, but I thought I'd just go through it now that it looks different. And I can go into my multi-view, and just a note that the multi-view from the A10 Mini Extreme is coming out over HDMI and into a capture card and into this computer. So in my case, the capture card is another A10 Mini, but it could be any HDMI capture card. So that's what's coming in there, and I can choose that as a webcam source. And now I have my multi-view right here. This is I can't believe how it's taken me a lot of work to get to this point because of the whole boilerplate template that I really wanted to set up for all future apps, but I'm really happy with the progress and it's coming together nicely. And so what I can do here is I can cut between all this stuff with a click. So you can see if I actually make this big, you kind of get that funky effect going, of course. I think what I can do is maybe just hide this off to the side so it's not so distracting. But I can see that my preview is actually working and pulling in all that stuff. So I'm clicking on these and they're going to preview. But if I go back to my settings over here, I can change that to direct cut mode. So instead of going to preview, it goes straight to program when I click on it. So that went straight to program. And I'll click back there, go straight to program. One other thing is if I had a preview window open, which I can open really easily, because not only do I see the multi-view here, but I can control the multi-view here, what I click on and what it looks like. So for example, I have my graphics software up on this window here, but I can change this to anything I want it to be. All of the options from the A10 are coming back into this app here, and I can change that to be perhaps my something I can click on. You know what, actually I want it to be, oh well, it doesn't really matter, does it? I have all my sources in here anyway. I can just change it to color bars, and there you go, you can see it pops in to color bars, and now when I click on that, color bars is in program. And back to me. So that's, again, I've kind of showed that app off before, but that's okay. I just wanted to show it off again, and now with this sort of renewed outlook on how things should look and work, and that's kind of the idea. I'm just trying to bring this up again. That's kind of the idea behind this whole boilerplate, and whenever I relaunch H2R graphics, the launcher, the home will look pretty much like this, and you'll control the app from there, and it just helps me so much to get all this stuff working and iterate faster and not start from scratch every single time that I build one of these applications. Let me just change my stuff back in here. So only 2XL on the hoodie. Oh, that's probably just a sizing thing that's wrong. It doesn't really this is just a little test store, but we have other things. Maybe you don't want a hoodie. Maybe you actually want, oh wait, that's not the right thing to click on. maybe you actually want, let's see, was there, yeah, there we go. There was this little water bottle instead. So I have a few things working on. If you can't get any of that stuff, then it's all good. We can chat about that on Discord, which brings me sort of racing to the end of the 30-minute show here today. Just a few things to say. Thank you so much. This is so cool. The boilerplate for apps, well worth your work up front. Exactly. This is the kind of stuff that will really help me in the future whenever I do go, you know, freelance and start building apps and come up with other ideas for apps and all that good stuff, you know. You're completely nuts. That's great. So you have 2 HDMI outs. Exactly. I have the 2 HDMI outs on my A10 Mini Extreme going to 2 different things. One to this monitor in front of me and another to a capture card. But I could loop through the monitor or split it coming out. You could actually use this app with one of the other A10s too, which is pretty cool. And another thing nice about app around like yeah, exactly, like Mix Effect or Touch Director, but your tool is to the next level. I'm happy to hear that. Is it auto calibrating to the screen? I'm not entirely sure. If I understand you correctly, it's sort of hard coded to match the type of screen that the A10 is pushing out. The only thing I can't do right now is split a 4-screen or join a 4-screen into one window and take that one window and move it back into 4, if you understand what I mean. I can't do that just yet, but that's something that that I'm working on. But that's a pretty slick, quick little look at that fun stuff. I want to wrap up this part of the show, and then we'll pop into the post show for a little more casual chit chat. But I do want to thank all of the members that have joined here on YouTube. I've had the YouTube membership for about a month now, maybe, or a few weeks at least, and I've had lots of people join as members, which I really appreciate. And one that I extra appreciate, a super supporter of the channel, Cloud Bedrock, has come in as a super supporter, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much for that. And again, I also appreciate all the super chats and the other members who have joined the channel and get access to certain content, and then hopefully in the future they can get access to even more content and things like that. I think I kind of went through all of the stuff I wanted to get to during the real show, but stay tuned for the post show, which starts in about 10 seconds whenever I grab my beer and crack it open. I'm just going to cut to this little image, and I'll see you back here in a few seconds. See you then.